Welcome back to The Big Picture. It looks like ex-New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg was right and our director was wrong. As of the 2010 census, the percent of American adults 20 and over who were obese was nearly 36%. And the percentage of American adults 20 and over who were overweight, including obese, stood at a staggering 69%. And those numbers don't even address the obesity epidemic in our nation's children. So what can be done to reduce obesity in our country and to ensure that Americans live long and healthy lives? Well, it turns out tighter regulations might actually be the answer. A new report published in the Bulletin of the World Health Organization finds that governments can slow down and even reverse obesity epidemics by putting in place simple economic regulations, like Mayor Bloomberg's proposed sugary drink ban that curb fast food consumption. Joining me now to talk more about that study and its specifics is Dr. Roberto De Vogli, professor and lead author on the study. Dr. De Vogli, welcome.
Thank you for having me here, Tom.
How big a problem is obesity worldwide, and how does it vary from country to country based on regulation?
Yes, in our study we found that the higher and faster increases in fast food consumption was strongly related to increases and levels of body mass index. And however, countries that adopted more aggressive deregulated policies had higher increases of fast food and body mass index.
Were you able to establish that there was actually causation, not just correlation here?
Yeah, we went for a long list of robustness checks, including the use of instrumental variable techniques that is used to establish, potential problems of confounding. And our findings are quite robust. Those countries that were more protective perform much better.
Can you give me some examples of how America might be more protective of its people with regard to diminishing fast food consumption? Would it be things like taxing fast foods or defining zoning, saying, within a square mile you can only have a certain number of fast food restaurants? I mean, how do you do that?
Yes, the literature is quite clear. There are a few policies and reforms you can do. Subsidize fruits and vegetables, for example, or farmers, small farmers that grow fresh and healthy foods. As long as fresh food and fruits and vegetables cost more than a Big Mac, there is no way to fight obesity. Or taxation. I know it's a contested area, but surprise, surprise, even Adam Smith proposed to tax sugar. In The Wealth of Nations, 1776, he wrote, "Sugar, rum, and tobacco are extremely proper subjects of taxation." So some corporate libertarians might not read it, but that's what he said.
Adam Smith, amazing. To some extent, it could probably be argued that we are subsidizing fast foods. We allow an awful lot of cattle is on government land. We subsidize the Farm Bill just passed today, and it's hundreds of billions of dollars of subsidies for big ag, which is driving much of this fast food stuff. Are there more narrow policies perhaps that we should be looking at?
Absolutely, we should subsidize more farmers like they do. For example, in Switzerland, 60% of their incomes come from government handouts. Here we subsidize big corporations that use corn for rapid tissue growth with excessive fertilizers. They use growth hormones, antibiotics, and this is not performing well in terms of obesity epidemic.
So instead of subsidizing the production of corn to be made into high fructose corn syrup, we should be subsidizing people who are growing fruits and vegetables.
Absolutely. Though it seems very difficult to do it under this deregulation revolution that started since the early 1980s.
Yeah.
And you had a higher concentration of food companies and the merging or corporate cannibalism has been called by some people. And
so obesity is the natural consequence of the Reagan Revolution and Reagan stopping the enforcement of the Sherman Antitrust Act?
I would say that obesity is an example of market failure. I wouldn't even blame entirely corporations because their job is to promote profits.
Right.
There is
so
no
deregulation has led to obesity. Dr. De Vogli, thank you so much for being with us tonight and for this brilliant study.
Thank you very much.